Hi guys, my name's Cam and welcome to Ask Me I'm Bipolar. Now if you haven't been to my channel before, please click that subscribe button. I put videos out every Friday and I wouldn't want you to miss out. So today I want to talk about something a little bit different. I want to talk about weird fears. Now everybody has some low-level fears, or at least most people do, but I have a few that I think are really odd. So my first fear is plasters. I mean, your average, wrap around your finger because you've cut yourself, first aid kit standard, plasters. Now, I've always had a thing about swimming baths, and in my head I always imagined dirty plasters kind of floating in swimming baths or on the sides of swimming baths or just in general, but plasters just freak me out. If someone's wearing a plaster, I always imagine it coming off. If someone's putting a plaster on something, I'm kind of like cringing on the inside, and I don't really know why I'm afraid of them. But I am. I mean, when my anxiety is really, really high, or I've had a really bad day with my anxiety, then it goes to like the next level and I'll start imagining like whoever made my food, for example, had a plaster and it's fallen off in my food. Then I feel like I've got to search for it in my food, and then I just kind of knock myself sick and imagine that the plaster's touched my food and then I can't eat anymore and it all goes wrong. So I would say that was a pretty odd thing to be afraid of. Now, I'm seeing a theme with myself after I started analysing this, and it seems to be dirty things. Now, I know when I get anxious or when I get like to a certain level of anxiety, I get kind of like a germophobia. And I often have nightmares when I'm really, really anxious where I'm trapped in a place and there'll be dirty water coming from pipes or showers or wherever around me, and the only way to get out is to go through the dirty water. And the sheer thought of having to go through that dirty water or trying to avoid that dirty water as I'm traversing somewhere just, gives me so much panic that I can wake up covered in sweat, just like heart palpitations, the works. So, there's something there. The second of my weird fears is propeller blades. Now, I think this comes from something I saw when I was a child, and I think it's Jaws the movie, but I could be wrong. It's where there's people on a boat somewhere in the middle of the ocean with a little dog. Dog falls off the boat, gets sucked into the propeller blades, and obviously dies from the action of the propeller blades. So I've always had this weird fear of propeller blades, which means that, if I'm going onto an aeroplane and they're close to me, it just makes me really nervous. But the weirdest sort of manifestation of this is wind turbines. So in England, you're driving down the road and there's often a lot of wind turbines at the side of you, and there's massive propeller blades going round. In my head, it's come off, it's cutting through the countryside, chopping my car in half, taking out all the people around. And yeah, it's just like a disaster movie waiting to happen, really. The third of my weird fears is that there's someone or something under my bed. Now, I don't mean this in a monster way. I'm not afraid of monsters. And, I'm not thinking that there's something lurking in the dark or any evil presence or anything like that. This is just a sort of weird kind of fear that if I put my leg, say, over the side of the bed, something or someone will grab it. And I've had that since I was a child. And I've actually, weirdly enough, had that last week. I had a day where I was really, really anxious about something. My anxiety levels were off the charts all day. Went to bed, and I kind of just got overcome with this kind of sense of fear and foreboding. I had my leg hanging over the side of the bed, and my logical brain is telling me, Cam, come on, this is ridiculous. There is nobody under your bed. You're 33 years old, get a grip. But I couldn't stop my body from reacting and just going, ugh, basically. So, yeah, I ended up just putting my leg back in and that was fine, but I just think it's really interesting where these fears come from or why I have these fears, even when I know they're completely illogical. I like to think of myself as a very logical person, so having a fear of propeller blades, I could probably justify that in certain cases, but having a fear of someone grabbing me from under my bed, not so much. So what I want to know now is, what are your weird fears? Let me know in the comments below. Anything that you find really creepy for no particular reason, or, when you get really anxious, you start being funny about something or afraid of something, write it below and let me have a look. At least let me know I'm not the only person out there that has really odd fears. Thanks for listening, and if you haven't already, please do click that subscribe button. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course on askmeimbipolar.com. See you later.